It is the year 5016 of the Union Era, and the galaxy is home to trillions. At the core of humanity's territory, there is a golden age. But outside of this newly won utopia, the revolutionary project continues. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a continuation of something that you are very familiar with, but as it takes on a new shape and we take off our clothes and give you all a little tease, I would like to officially welcome you to the introductory episode to Tears of Divinity Fading Chronicle, the sequel to Frozen Rain. If you are a follower of Neon Lights, you may recognize that title from some other works that Foxy and crew have been putting out, but this will be a more official grab right from the post of Frozen Rain. So if you're not already familiar with that award-nominated series, please go check us out on YouTube. Anyway, intros. I'll note just before we begin that Lancer is at its core a story about humanity and fighting back the evils of the old ages, and so those evils still need to be confronted. Players have a direct line to me, but you, the audience, if at any point you're experiencing difficulties, Savage 21st is capable of providing exfil at the nearest blink gate at the simplest click of the mute or exit button. Take some time, refit, refresh, full repair, and get back into the field whenever you can, and join us. Looking forward to it. That being said, have I actually introduced myself? Or have I just been like a stranger talking? I don't think I have. I'm Turk, or Turk accented, if you know the truth, which is, of course, all lies. And while I have the pleasure of being at the helm, I am not alone at the wheel with a group of industrious storytellers here to take you on an incredible adventure through the mud and blood of the Lancer storytelling system. Now, I'm not sure what the overlay order is, but I have an order we can introduce ourselves in for no reason in particular. Starting, of course, with Philly's finest.
It's always me, ain't it? Hey friends, I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest. And today I get to reprise, finally after so long, my role as the dear, sweet, and important Reiji Draws, team's resident orc, complete moron, former prison rat, and now... wife guy? Wives guy. We'll go with wives guy. Super looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. That's all I got.
Typical wives guy.
Wives guy, you know? What's nothing wrong with that?
Anyway. Next, of course, Sir Hooper of the Caravan.
Hello, friends. I'm Andrew. I am reprising my role as Leon Holtz, cowboy, outlaw, general, heart thief. Got to kiss in a fellow PC last season, and it was the absolute best time ever. I spent half of an episode searching a frozen ice ball planet for flowers because I'm that dedicated. I'm very excited for this. I've so been looking forward to playing this game again, especially with these lovely people.
Hopefully less ice balls in the future. Now, folks, a pleasure, for I bring you not just a standard vermin, but the most legendary of vermin.
That's me! Hey everybody, I'm Legendary Vermin. I am playing Symbiosis Ads, your one-stop shop for mech romance, flesh romance, weapons, not romance, just like making weapons, and general technological fuckery. She's back, baby. Also hashtag girl wife. Sometimes co-occupied by her girlfriend / NHP, Mimir.
Hot.
I mean, oh, it's contagious apparently. Now, last but not least, I bring you a mystery of the Meg variety.
Hello, it is me, Meg and/or Meg Mysteria, and I get to finally bring back Elena Victoria. Victoria? It was me. I was the PC that got kissed. Yes. And I got to enjoy the flowers that apparently spent half an episode being searched for. And yes, I appreciated them greatly. They are preserved very nicely, and they're in my bunk room right now.
That's gay.
It is. It's pretty gay. Le gay even. Uh, but
Right.
But-
Is that it? Oh my gosh. Do I actually have to
that's it.
start now?
yeah, we have to
Gross.
start.
It's story time.
All right. So, I mean, like, what even happened last episode? Like, nothing, right? Like, nothing really happened. Like, we don't even really
Nothing
need to get
at
into
all.
it. I mean, everyone's
Smooth
seen it,
and
of
done, I
course.
think.
It's
No
a
big deal.
warn. Anyway, previously on the planet Spar, our brave Lancer pilots engaged in what was originally a search and rescue mission, but found themselves quickly embroiled in an uprising led by the NHP Divinity Yneval. Bad news all around. Was causing a whole bunch of ruckus with a lot of unfrozen survivors of a previous war still believed that they were fighting Secom, though this is now Third Com, a much more benevolent era of the Union government. And our players had to protect Spar from inevitable destruction, though they were unsuccessful in stopping the Saga of Ages from departing from the planet. Saga of Ages being the ship that Yneval originally crashed the planet on, or should I say Prudent Interval. Though that was not without some success, as a fragment of Prudent Interval has been saved and kept on board the Savage 21st under the watchful eye of your NHP specialist Symbiosis Adzi. At this point, though,
Sorry. It's ads like the tool.
ads?
Ads.
Oh,
An ads.
ads. I'll get that down. Probably.
It's all good. It's all good.
Takes me like several episodes to remember even my own name. Anyway, it's been a long time. Anyway, this has the Savage 21st has been doing the most logical next step for the crew to follow in that particular moment. Rather than sitting on their hands and waiting for orders, they have been in pursuit of the Saga of Ages as best as they could, though the Savage 21st is not capable of immediate jumps from in space, let alone within Atmo, as the Saga of Ages did. So following that wave has been difficult, but it has the effects of Spar have sent ripples throughout the galaxy. As you've all quickly learned, the effects of a incredibly powerful and self-divinatory believing NHP across Union space has caused a lot of problems, inspiring several other cascade events, literally, in that a lot of other powerful NHPs have begun to cascade in what is being called the Genesis Wave event, or just the Genesis Wave for short. But our camera does not pan on a galactic scale, but rather zooms in on the Savage 21st, a modest but still robust Union vessel made primarily to handle Lancer wings and get them on and off planet to solve problems and, well, to provide aid where they can. If at any point y'all can just give me a brief overview of what you've all been busy with over the last few days. It's been a bit. Time is finicky in space, but by like a galactic standard, it's at least been a few weeks. So if you all, whoever wants to jump in can, or I can go through the orders of our introductions, let us know what you've been busy with, just in a brief sense.
I mean, I know for a fact that after, our probably a very brief initial debriefing, just scheduling a further, like, all right, tell us exactly, moment by moment, what the fuck happened down there. Leon has been enjoying being back in space, the feeling of artificial gravity, doing some refitting onto Dawn, now named Dawn's Morning Light, Mour. and definitely spending a lot of time with the team. Just they're the only ones that really understand what we saw down there, and he needs that little bit of comfort, like he didn't just imagine all that happened, and these people can confirm that. Right, guys? Right? I'm not crazy?
Of course not. You're fine.
Yeah, I think Sim, in between official debriefings and highly unofficial debriefings, exactly. The Sim has been spending what is for Sim a normal amount of time hanging out inside of a mech, but the Mondragon axiomatic that she attempted to capture Yin in seems to have fired correctly, but it's like an ongoing project for her to figure out, like, okay, it fired, but what happened? And so she's been tinkering with this like extremely weird ontological piece of tech, trying to understand what, if anything, she captured with it.
I think complete caveat, or I guess counterpoint to Leon's renewed comfort or returned comfort to space. Reiji has never spent more than like the last time Reiji was on a space vessel was the time he was on his way to prison about a decade and a half ago. So he's the exact opposite of not having any comfort in artificial gravity or like EVA practice or really anything that comes to like living on a military ship. I think he's read a bit about the Ebro class in like a book he found in like on the prison shelf once, so like he's recalling small information and like kind of just taking in the experience. But I think spends anytime he's not debriefed by Sim, quote unquote, is probably, if not like gambling Phoenix out of cigars through card games, fucking around and getting into fights with random other crew on the ship occasionally, because what's a good military ship without a brawl every now and then, or just like finding random like crossbars that are just out of the way of people to like start doing annoying ass workouts on and like stay there for half an hour to an hour at a time, just like doing pull-ups.
The park bench guy.
Listen, you gotta stay swole in space, all right? The vacuum is not good for your gains.
Notably, he's not doing this in the gym.
Nope. Need the authentic. We didn't have gyms in prison, all right?
Elena, of course, attending all of the briefings that are needed. And in free time falls into the routine of work, because there's still work that is needed on the ship. So whatever responsibilities that have been allotted to her, she falls into those routines.
I will say, Elena, as you're kind of keeping more abreast of command situations, and you can, of course, have disseminated this to your team, you can kind of actually track a general path that Yneval is going to, and destination unknown, but all of these events are absolutely kind of occurring in a pattern and spreading out. So it doesn't take an advanced NHP process. Honestly, they can throw this in a they can throw it in a fucking computer and just do, target data and spatial analysis of when certain events and strange abnormalities occur with, say, manufacturing machinery on one planet versus a colonial administrator being unavailable, and then some city defenses coming online in odd ways in other places. The spacing there, the timing can actually be tracked, as hence the Genesis wave name. So it's kind of like you're tracking a fish through the water by the ripple.
Okay.
And well, I'd say the best news that you and Inahara have gotten is that no one's called in to say, "Hey, give up the chase. We need you elsewhere." It seems like right now they're perfectly fine with the crew that kind of was there at the start to keep on this like a bloodhound. Though you would also be the first to know that you will be linking up briefly at a command post. For what they have told you is just very brief little like resupply before sending you on their way, but Inahara has mentioned that it's very likely that they'll get more official orders and potentially an escort fleet attached to them, or at least orders to meet up and given a proper hunting team.
Okay.
More ships. Sorry.
That being said, unless there's anything else that jumps out, the Savage 21st would indeed pull into a Union outpost, kind of an orbital platform station, really quick, can link up, and as it didn't engage in any direct ship-to-ship combat during its time on Spar, it's mostly just a large diagnostic run, cycle of onboard NHPs if needed, just an insurance that everything's going on. Though you will all get individual pings during your day around the same time that there's an official, a Union Navy official here to, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's like a military term for post-operational, like information. But I'm not. It's definitely not.
Actually, funnily enough, the term most commonly used was during World War II for bomber crews. After missions, they would like talk to all the various craft crews and say like, okay, who got shot down? Where'd they go down? Did you shoot? What happened here? What happened where? What are your logs looking like? And it was, funnily enough, literally called an interrogation.
Well, it's a post-op, is how they're phrasing it.
That makes me more concerned for some reason.
And you know,
meet and greet.
The Union Naval Department is obviously very interested in what's going on, but Leon, you would be the first one called in after the ship has departed. So you're already on your way, and it seems that as you're coming down and kind of waiting by these doors, they'll kind of slide open, and Captain O'Hara will meet you. And his face is a mixture of determination, but you've been on the ship for a decent amount of time. I was going to say, if it was Reiji, you wouldn't have picked this up. But the guy already has a pretty tightly clenched jaw any hour of the day. You're worried for his next dental appointment at this point. Like his like is so clearly showing the tension in him that you're amazed that as he kind of gives you he's able to like nod at you and then step to the side.
Just start to take a step, pause. Everything all right, sir?
Just fine. We've got orders. You get in there and you give a good report. Pardon me. And that almost perfect soldiery, not like a parade walk by any means, but just that like clipping down the hallway with efficiency, holding everything in.
And walk in.
So within, you don't see what you expect to be probably a small, poorly decorated metal room somewhere. It's actually almost seems to be more of a modern office with nice appointments. You weren't aware this was on the ship, actually. and seated at a chair is kind of less of a full person and more of the impression of one, very silhouetted. Their facial profile seeming to constantly sort of shift in perceivable ways by the time it ends, but the slow change almost is kind of like putting someone through an AI generator. Kind of those ways that the face like slightly morphs into a different thing, or like it's a time lapse sort of thing. You know, when you watch those, like I took a picture every day, but by the end of the week, they're a different person.
That's some info skim bullshit.
Yeah. And I mean, if you want to make a roll for knowing things about the Union, I'm not sure what tag that would be exactly, but I'll allow anyone going forward. But yeah,
Roxy Valley CGI Tarkin ass. I'm not even with that shit.
Bill, please, by all means, come in. And they motion toward a chair.
Yeah. Take a seat. Sitting up straight.
You can relax. I just have to ask you a few questions about the mission.
This is relaxed.
Suppose you inherited that from your commander. So, Leon. I have that first name right. There was some discrepancies I found down the way. Leon Holtz.
That's me, yes.
I mean, I suppose before we begin, I just want to ensure that your criminal actions against the Union are behind you.
I have done my time in proper incarceration.
No,
And
I
I'm
don't want
back-
the practiced answer, please.
I am back to serve the Union.
Well, I mean, damn the Union. I'm just wondering if you're actually on board for taking down this threat.
I've seen what this threat can do. And we're not safe unless we're all focused on taking it down.
Suppose it makes sense. Your file mentions little about your family, but I did find a brother on Modester. Not much about it, but you
Last I heard,
concerned
he
at
was
all?
dead.
Interesting.
I haven't exactly talked to him once they considered me a criminal.
Understood. I asked because there's been a small flare-up, a minor thing, farming equipment. Nothing to worry about. It's been sorted. They had the good luck to be near an albatross patrol. They do good work there. So, in your own words, what should, in your own words, could you briefly summarize your efforts during this last engagement?
Specifically that last all-out war, or my time there on Spar?
Spar. We can keep it hemmed in.
We found a lot of relics of the past, a lot of which I think probably should have stayed in the past. We tried to keep it contained. Failed, clearly. Now we gotta clean it up. We did our best to help those people there, for as much as they wanted us there.
Spar is a interesting part of the collective effort, indeed. I've noticed the recent new applications of marking steer skin. Clearly, the locals have taken a shining to you, if you're allowed that honor.
Fought a few big beasties down there.
Indeed. Though as a stand, the entire team was offered the chance to earn their mark, so to speak.
We did what we had to do to make sure that they trusted us. Made our job a lot easier.
And that's all it was? Just earning trust?
As opposed to...
Well, doing the right thing. Golden pillars, all that... You know, optimism.
I am here to help people. Whatever that looks like is what it looks like.
Fair enough. I've had the liberty of looking over your current licensing and mechanical specifications. I'm noticing an absence of a previously attached NHP designation Freya. Any explanation for why you're allowing a potentially violent NHP to remain back on a planet where they recently had a paracausal event?
Where she wanted to be.
And I'd love to flash back a little bit to that exact moment, as I'm going to actually bring us back. I'm not going to play second plate, though I want to.
Do what you want. Do what you want. Do what you want.
No, it's not going to fit the scene. I'll do it afterward. Anyway, kind of the scene fades, and we're back on Spar post the launch of the Saga of Ages. The city of Yin is in a mix of celebration and mourning. More so celebration, though on Spar the two look very similar. And we find ourselves above the walls, or rather the top of the canyons of Yin there, looking out with Leon and the casket of Freya, who is kind of projecting herself above it. She'll turn to you, that braided and armored warrior that used to be a little cat. So it's true then? You intend to leave the planet?
It's not my home. Theirs,
It's what-
though.
It's also mine. And you intend to do war on behalf of this union?
It is my clan, yes.
But it is not mine. And there's
No,
still
it's not.
and there's still traitors to be hunted down here. You understand, Leon? Justice must be brought. Violence must be done.
When I agreed to fight by your side, I knew that.
So you understand this is where we take our parting?
I do. And he'll like reach into his like sliff suit and pull out all of the digital dog tags that he has picked up from all of the fallen soldiers that they've come across, and just kind of like drape it over her casket.
You'll do me great honor.
They're better off with you than with me.
Why do you say that? Should your enemies not also quake, knowing the distance of your step draws ever closer?
No. No, I want people to look at me and see hope, not fear. I'll kill when I have to, but that's it.
I think you misunderstand. Hope is not the absence of fear, but rather something standing between you and it, and watching as it grows bigger.
Why do they need both of us?
Told by the techno shamans they'll be assigned to some clan warrior, though I doubt they have the same honors as you have.
He'll teach him, I'm sure.
I will miss you.
I'll miss you too. Don't think I'd be alive without you.
No,
So-
you wouldn't. You would not. Thrice or 4 times at least, the enemy would have drawn your blood across the snow, had I not intervened and kept you alive. You're
Also
worthless
tried to
off-worlder.
kill my XO once, but I suppose we could call it even.
What is life without conflict? Especially amongst those who are closest to.
Obviously didn't deter him any, because it like looks over at the drop shuttle where everyone's loading up and gets all the the warm and fuzzies looking over at the team.
Keep them close. If there's one thing you should have learned on the ice, that you need the warmth of others.
Same for you. Ever need me? Not that you do, not that I'm saying you're incapable, but if you did, if I happen to be in the neighborhood, I'll pop in.
Good. I wish you well in your wars and battles to come, and that you might grow close enough to show people who you truly are.
I think we're a long ways from that. Good luck out there.
I don't need it. And the ice and wind will sweep it out as we flash back to the office. I understand. Well, if there's nothing else, that's plenty. You're free to go.
Talked to any of the others yet?
No, actually, you're the first of the group that had immediate contact with the entity known as Yneval.
She's dangerous. To everyone. Herself included.
We're well aware of that.
Well, I'm well aware of the fact that there's a lot of union officials out there, little too big for their britches, thinking that they can point at some dangerous weapon and tame it. And that's not going to happen here.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
I'm sorry, do you think our intention is to contain Yneval again?
Your intention is above my pay grade.
On that we can agree. Thank you for your input, Mr. Holtz. It will be very useful.
He'll get up and just walk out.
On the way out, if you ever do want to know about your brother, you don't have to ask.
Maybe someday. Maybe on my deathbed.
Oh. Yours or his, I suppose.
Definitely pause for like a full second and a half and then walk out.
Right. Reiji, you get a ping. To a summons, so to speak. You would have gotten it a little bit ahead. They're kind of timing these pretty effectively.
Oh, that's fine. That means they set me in mind decently early. Yeah, then I guess as Leon's walking out, Reiji's like at the door, already waiting, finishing the last of whatever cigar he was already puffing through. Yo.
Just,
Tired of waiting?
bureaucracy. Don't
What
let
if I know
him.
what that means.
Don't let him try to pin any blame on you for this.
Oh,
I think
no,
they're
of
looking
course, he's a smooth
for.
talker.
I think they're looking for some kind of scapegoat for some of it, and anyways, I just told them the truth, told them what happened, and who knows how much they believed.
Just like bigwigs, ain't it?
Mr. Reiji?
Playing my song.
The voice is much more feminine presenting now. Than when you had a last conversation.
Give him hell. And walk off.
Reggie will look back at Leon's back for a second, contemplate saying something, but then just shake his head and step into the room.
And you're also meeting with that same kind of like, ooh, this is all a lot better than I expected this to be.
I got
but you're also
on this boat. What the hell?
Oh, it's just projection.
Right.
We
What
thought
are you supposed to be?
Why? I'm part of the Union Navy. Here to do a little tete-a-tete with one of our brave heroes.
All right, say the sugar code into it. I know how this works. And he'll plop himself down. Can I kick his feet up? Do I get a lawyer first, or a meal or something, or should I just start ratting?
We're not looking for you to rat on anybody. We're just looking to understand all of our brave pilots here and figure out what really went on. Now,
We'll see about that.
if we can begin, we want to clarify. At the outset of this incident, you were a recently unincarcerated member from a penal colony within Spar set up by SECCOM. Is that correct?
Valahalla Prison Complex, penal ID 417284-Zeta.
Wow. Hell of a memory.
You repeat it enough times, it gets kind of stuck up there.
I understand. Well, obviously, without having a proper license, you had shown great aptitude for not only piloting a Lancer frame, but also taking into account the needs and wants of your fellow citizens and fighting for the safety of this system, at least the planet. We're curious if your concerns go beyond the planet Spar.
Spar gave me a lot that I needed to be grateful for, so I took care of it. And as for virtue, well, wife says I'm good with my hands, so.
That still leaves a bit to be questioned. Are you just here because the entity known as Yneval threatened Spar, or is there a larger altruistic, galaxy-spanning reason?
There are people out there who shouldn't be hurt by what Yneval's about to do to the galaxy. Call me crazy for wanting to stop that.
No, not crazy at all. In fact, we think you should be commended. As it stands right now, we are giving you a promotion and recommending you for squad leadership.
You're giving me a what and doing what?
Well, it wouldn't do to have someone who's shown the industriousness that you have to be squandering at such a low rank as a simple recent graduate of the Lancer program, which of course has been fast-tracked by us, don't worry.
All right, I don't give a shit about ranks or whatever. Medals are bullshit anyway. Victoria's the XO. Why swap me into that?
Well, more of those details will be discussed between ourselves and Vittore. This is by no means a replacement, a swap. We just feel like you have leadership potential.
Reggie just kind of looks around like they're talking about somebody else in the room. All right. What's the catch then? You're telling me all this for a reason. It's no reason to pull me off in the back room, give me the whole luxury room treatment just to say, congratulations, you did great, go do better. What do you need?
We just need a quiet place to ask questions and get a full picture of what is going on. So, in your opinion, what occurred and how best do you think it should be handled?
Well, if you want my esteemed estimate, Union fucked over Spar pretty hard. Same way it's fucked over a lot of places. By being negligent. Ultimately, in this case, that meant a god got out. And gods, well, tend to get a little bit antsy when they start seeing what the galaxy's like these days. Any further questions?
So we understand it, Yneval believed she was still fighting the second commission of Union, SECOM.
Some people look at all kinds of authorities the same way, regardless of what they call themselves. Reggie says, looking straight at them.
That's fair. It's hard for those on the outskirts to see the victories that have been won in the center.
Especially
But that's why we have the
not
Lancer.
much.
That's why the Lancer program exists. Not only is it a good way to squash problems out in the galaxy, you'll have a long enough leash to, well, if Third Come ever does become a problem.
It's bold words coming from a Union bigwig, but
No,
I won't say I respect you for it.
I'm not really that much of a big wig, just an inquisitive member of a group. Just making sure all the pilots are set and ready to go. That being said, good news of your promotion aside, we were curious as to how you've managed to persevere thus far with your cybernetic infection, for lack of a better term.
So that someone told you about that, I assume.
Standard bioscans can reveal a large amount of rising sun nanites in your bloodstream, nervous system, well, anything that moves throughout the body and that the blood can touch, which I'm sure you know is most everything. We're just curious how someone on a planet so distant from the Karakan trade baronies got access to a Pancrati gladiator control/combat enhancer.
Well, funny thing, the guy had the strangest bit of mystique to him. One of those faces you can't quite recognize too well, like it's always shifting. You can barely recognize him or remember him anymore. Kind of walked up and offered me some weird drugs for some money. Next thing I know, I'm piloting better. Funny how the galaxy works.
I mean, that is the effect of a rising sun nanite, though it seems a lot of the detriments have been held at bay, though rather they're held in stasis as long as you're connected to your frame. I'd say right now you're going to begin to feel the effects of long bouts of being outside of it and not connected. And I will say, Reggie, throughout this time, you have felt a kind of stiffness in your joints, especially as you've been working out a lot. You have chalked it up to in space. It's harder to move. It's weird, not spar, artificial gravity.
That's what I would assume.
And if I can just show you, and just pulls up, and the kind of screen appears. This is not you. Don't worry. But this is a standard scans we've gotten of Pancrati gladiators that have decided to flee the Karakan baronies here, that have been injected with Rising Sun nanites. Now, you will notice, and this will be shown, the nanites quickly replace a lot of vital blood cells, neurological components, synapses, and, well, just about everything. That's how the Karakan baronies like their gladiators, very reliant and set to their demands.
Get to the point.
Well, we just want to make sure you're being properly looked after. At the moment, there is no known cure for these being in your system. They're self-replicating, but we just thought we'd let you know that it seems that as long as you're hooked into your frame, they are put to sleep. So I suppose I'm asking permission to take a copy of your CompCon unit you have installed.
You're not touching virtue. Sorry.
All right. It would do a lot of good for a lot of people suffering from a similar condition, but kind of looks at the screen. It's also a warning, I suppose, to you. Be careful. Too much time out of your frame, they're going to continue to grow, and getting them out is purposely extremely difficult, if not impossible.
Reiji will kind of lean forward some. It's that file you got on me. If anywhere near detailed as you've been acting for the past 15 minutes, you'd know I don't do careful.
It's a shame. I think you have a very bright future if you take your health into account.
And I think I have a god to kill.
On that, I am very happy to hear. Well, that's all the questions I have for you.
Mind if I pop you one?
Oh, absolutely.
This recommendation for squad command or whatever. Is it, opt-in?
I think you're going to find that the Vittori family right now is not a group that the Union currently is going to hold in high regard. There are concerns in the broader naval department that having them in any form of leadership, regardless of their connection to Vittori Industries, is going to be hazardous. I would suggest you take this, not only for your own squad's cohesion and ensuring that you have a formal command, otherwise some third party would have to be brought in, but also because you genuinely do have the capability to be very good. Just a matter of whether you're...
kid. But thanks.
Well, that's all. I'm sure you'll be speaking amongst yourselves soon.
Word of advice, if you're pulling in one of our other two squad mates next, be careful. You think I'm feisty. And Reiji will just get up and start walking off.
Well, Sim would be the next one.
Exactly my point.
Sim's outside.
Reiji exits, and the moment the door closes behind him, he, like, not super hard, but, like, slams his fist into a wall. Fucking prick.
Hey, what happened in there?
Fucking asshole has too many goddamn questions and thinks he knows everything anyway. Look, I don't know what they're gonna ask you about in there, but they're after something. More than just whatever they're questioning about. I'd play it cool.
No problem.
And he kind of, like, does, like, a weird sort of look away. Catch you when you get out of there.
Yeah.
He'll, like, brush the back of her hair, slap her butt a bit, and walk away.
A bit.
Only a bit for now.
Only a bit. I have a question before I walk in there.
Sure.
Do I sense that there's going to be any interference for my ride along?
No.
Okay, cool.
It's not like there is a like blocking field of any kind to this room.
Cool.
So yeah, you walk in, and I mean, you can immediately clock a hollow projected office.
Oh yeah, it's a hollow projected office. They're probably hiding whoever's on the other side of that. And without making any obvious overture to it, Sim and Mimir start hacking to get a clear view of whoever's on the other side of the camera.
You can make me a hack check.
I sure can. That's a 12.
With your tags at it as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. All right. So you are able to kind of access these systems easily enough, but I will say, you get access to like bring down the hollow, kind of like control of the room, how it looks and everything.
I don't want to change how the room looks. I want to see what data is being fed.
Sure, and getting that, you can see that this is being broadcast from a kind of pinned around sort of standard protocols for probably not the Union Navy if they're just putting in a call. So you can clock this is probably the UIB, the Union Intelligence Bureau, which is sort of an off the books entity of Union, more connected to Galsim and the Five Mines, which are like top secret shit, which you probably don't know about even. But like,
would my experience with Harrison Armory have exposed me to that?
They would probably be aware that the Union.
I can also roll no secrets.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be great right now.
Harrison also in canon has their own version of the five voices. It's like they have their own like paracausal brain mind thing they're using for coordination and shit.
15.
Okay, yeah. So you'd be aware through Harrison's kind of information networks that like the Union absolutely has their own sort of like paracausal unit with highly advanced bicameral mind sort of things that they use. It's a forecast / Galsim. And the UIB is directly attached to them and kind of answers only to Galsim, which is this weird, almost esoteric, more so than governmental agency. So
this is not Union Navy. This is the Men in Black.
Yeah, basically, they work off the books. Yeah, very Men in Black, kind of like. But you can't quite get enough to just like probably interpret a signal of what is being sent to you. It's like what's purposely being sent to you is multiple different people.
Oh, okay. So I'm talking to more than one person, even though they're conflating it. Great. That's good to know.
That's also fire, Turk. Fucking well done. I like.
Initially, I was going to take it from the 40k Dark Tide thing, where it's just projected head with all the different. Anyway, but in this case, anyway, I see you've been busy already.
Sorry, what?
Oh, that's great. That's super great. Don't worry, you've been on file for a while. We've had you pinned for potential extraction, and well, I suppose that means we don't have to really beat around the bush here, Sim. I can call you Sim, right?
Oh, at some point she had a different name. They would probably call her that.
Oh, well, it'd probably be what you have currently on file. They don't want to presume anything. This is still Union. There's still, 3 golden pillars, still
authoritarian, not transphobic.
No, not transphobia. Because remember, Sim is literally in hiding from Harrison Armory.
Right. I somehow forgot that. My bad.
Aren't we all?
Hey.
Anyway, I just think in the moment they're going to keep with Sim.
They're going to keep Sim. Okay.
I mean, we can get into the perfect. All right. You never know who's linking onto a signal or hacking code and trying to bounce back through several. Anyway, sorry. Want to clarify because we've heard a lot of raised voices in the last two. A lot of raised blood pressure in this room. I gotta say, not my favorite thing to be handling, but this is not by any means an interrogation. You don't have to answer any of our questions. We really are just trying to get to the bottom of things here. Specifically about Yneval, about your combat capabilities going forward. making sure you're putting your best foot forward so we can really nip this thing in the butt. The thing,
Sure.
of course, being a galaxy-spanning paracausal event. All right, perfect. It seems like they're kind of like shuffling with paper that isn't there in front of them. So I guess first things first. Records show that you were capable of deploying a device that was semi-successful at capturing Yneval.
Mondragon axiomatic. The idea was to take the unshackled Yneval and basically refold her. You know how. I don't have to explain to you how the ontological frameworks for Mondragon axiomatic work.
Of course. Naturally. And the fact you were put it together in the field is incredible. And working on Spar, where technology and religion can be such touchy topics, you've really ingratiated yourself. I mean, that just speaks further to your qualifications. The success of that, though, seems to have resulted in you just capturing a fragment. Curious as to your containment there, and further ideas surrounding the NHP fragment. Even if it's just a part of the problem, you can see how those who would rather it be done and dusted get a little anxious.
The results of the capture on the Mondragon axiomatic are inconclusive. It seems irresponsible to release it into the wild, but I am, as I'm sure you know, fully capable of rehabilitating a partial NHP fragment.
Well, I suppose the question is, are you hoping for a different end result, or are you hoping to grow prune Yneval back to a pre-cascading state?
No comment.
Oh, we'd love one, though, if you can. Yeah, just for the folks at home who get a little jittery.
What happens with Yneval is going to depend significantly on the outcomes that we see from the Mondragon. There is a likelihood that it could regrow to a pre-cascade Yneval. No guarantees. Although I'm sure all of you are keeping an eye on that anyway.
I told you they were great. Both of them together. What a pair. Anyway, that's fine. We're just curious. We're here to observe, offer help if needed. Again, just want to make sure you're ready for the case if things go south, And
I understand the need to contain Yneval unshackled, and that her understanding of the world needs to be adjusted if she's going to be safe to continue existing. And that may mean termination. Do you have any other questions for me?
Not regarding that. Of course, the ongoing threat that the other rest of Yneval poses, well, that will be a call for later, I suppose. Good times. Hopefully that can get resolved quickly with the supplements to your fleet we're adding. Other clarifications we're interested as well, it's good to have these things on official record. We understand that you are a bit of a direct refugee of Harrison Arms within our ranks here, and Mimir, is quite attached. Now, that's hardly an issue. I don't want to be concerned that that's what we want to talk about. We're more interested in your departure from Harrison Arms and your certainty that you are not currently being tracked, followed, or shadowed in any way.
I am as certain as you are.
Fantastic. Then you'll agree to some background interference on our behalf, just making sure you're as safe as possible given the preciousness of what you now hold.
If you think that you can keep Harrison Arms out of a developing Yneval fragment, I welcome any assistance you can give that does not interfere with her personal sovereignty.
Absolutely. No, just, well, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that the larger majority of Harrison Arms space does not become aware of you. We understand that would be a development you and I would not be a fan of. That being said, if you do encounter a detachment of Harrison Arms in the future, we would recommend doing your job quickly and remaining as unseen as possible.
I'm sure you understand the complexities of the field don't always allow for such clean execution.
Understood. Just giving our best advice. That's really all we're doing here. Well, that's really all I think we've got for you here. If you have any other questions?
Did they go after my dad's? Harrison Arms.
There is a high certainty that any familial connections would have suffered due to your departure. Their own abilities give them a chance of survival. We are currently screening for them, but you understand if they're hiding from Harrison, they're going to be hiding from us as well. We'll drop any information we can to you. Or at least, well, yeah, we'll drop any information we can to you.
Noted.
Well, if you wouldn't mind sending Miss Vittoria in.
As you wish. Sim walks out. And yeah, is Elena there?
Is waiting outside. Very stiff and upright. This is a soldier's stance.
Hey, is there a way to connect to you through
I have a data link, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm not gonna say any of this out loud. Sim like connects the both of us and says, "Spooks inside. Probably CIB."
Be expected.
There's more than one of them, maybe 4 or 5. One face. Different
Thanks.
handler for each of us, I think.
Thanks for the heads up.
I could.
And Sim will give or will like offer Elena a hug before departing.
She'll give you one, but it's kind of stiff and feels almost distant.
Good luck.
Uh, after Leon got out of his interview, he did immediately go track down Elena. Just to kind of give a brief of what's happening, what he said. Wherever she's currently at, like knock on the door. Just finished. Think they're gonna try to tear us apart. Figured I should give you a heads up.
Such accusations.
Not surprised. If they're doing their job correctly, then they should be tearing us apart.
I suppose you'd know better than I would. I think they're looking to place some blame. And I think you're a prime candidate.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, all of us are behind you, 100%, no matter what they say. And to step into the room and just hit the button to close the door. Especially me.
Thank you.
And he'll just reach up, just hand under the chin, lean forward, and as long as they're all right with it, give him a kiss.
He will accept the kiss and return it.
Go give him hell.
We'll see.
Open the door back up
And now back to the meeting room. She'll enter the room very sharp and alert. Again, very much that soldier stance.
Miss Vittori, take a seat.
She will approach the chair and take a seat. Level her gaze with her handler.
I suppose the first initial question should be concerning your interpretation of the situation that occurred on Spar.
What occurred on Spar was that we encountered initially age-old mechs that initially we thought didn't have a source for their power. We soon discovered that they were being controlled by Yneval, a cascading NHP that was far outside of what we could understand and control.
And do you feel the escape of this Yneval was due to your failings as a leader?
Her expression becomes very sharp as she sets her jaw. And she says, I believed I performed as well as I could, given the situation.
We agree. You were thrown in the deep end, given little resources, on a planet that considered you, at very best, interlopers, at worst hostile, and you made the situation work and saved a critical Union ally. Frankly, it is our general belief you should be getting swarmed with accommodations and medals, your entire squad. You understand that can't happen yet, not till the situation's done. And unfortunately, we have to discuss your family now. So I'll begin. To clear the record, do you have any association or decision-making power in association with Victoria Industries?
I do not.
Are you aware Victoria Industries is currently being implicated in an SSC testing facility scandal?
I was not aware, no.
Mostly Galaxy isn't. The idea is it's being kept very hush-hush. The fact that you don't know speaks to your character and the truth. We suggest you know as little as possible. Officially, there hasn't been a set court date, but there's going to be a lot of questions and dust being shaken up about Victoria Industries. At the moment, we're recommending you keep a low profile as possible, which is why we are suggesting that you officially be delisted as a commander for the squad. Your unit's going to be on the front lines of some very aggressive work, at least by our estimations. And while what happens on the ground happens on the ground, having Vittori at the head of this could bring a lot more red tape than I think any of us want to deal with. At least until you've had a chance to prove you have no association for what your family has done. And by family, I should clarify your parents.
Who would be replacing me?
Currently, Reiji is being recommended. It is a experimental procedure testing leadership qualities in a outside candidate. And again, this would be in only official capacities. What you and your squad choose to do in regards to chain of command on the ground would be entirely up to you. Though official communications would transfer and go through Reiji. Though we give it a high probability that he will not accept this position if you do not accept to step down. We are asking you to do so. Miss Vittoria. Unfortunately,
I'll step down.
I understand this is difficult. And you need to understand you've done nothing wrong. However, we recommend you maintain a healthy distance from your parents for the time being. As we understand, they're going to try to rally the family around. And
I'll step down. I understand that I should maintain my distance from them.
Thank you. We know this cannot be an easy decision. The kind of projections of figures will stand and give you a salute.
She will stand and return.
Hopefully the situation clears it up soon. We will need you. In the meantime, Miss Vittori, you were dismissed.
Thank you.
And as Elena walks out, I think that's where we're going to take a really quick break. So, I'm recording this, so I can't exactly tell everyone in chat what to do. But I will say, you should absolutely take a little bit, treat yourself, do something nice, because that was a lot of emotional work. And I say that also to my crew especially. Anyway, we'll be right back. Keep it locked. See you then. Welcome back, everybody. Now, last we left off, our brave pilots were being individually, less so, chewed out, but, interrogated, questioned, informed of certain things, nudged in potentially advantageous directions. Anyway, it's not long after Elena has been questioned that you're all going to be called up to the command room. Those of you who have been there before would know this is where you were prepped before your landing on Spar. So, kind of mission briefing. For his Reiji, I'm not sure if you stumbled in here before, just kind of exploring the ship, but entering in,
Sure,
you're kind of
one nap in here.
probably it's got good. It's where the nice chairs and benches are. It's really comfy. But it is still kind of like that military room where the center is dominated by a kind of large tablet table. Can't think of words right now. I don't know why. Brain failed me. But
Hollow table?
like less a hollow table, more like a
Holodeck.
solid, like a hollow structure, like a desk, but with a large panel running across this entire top, kind of allowing you all to kind of stand at the rim and look down into it. And within that area is Captain O'Hara, who will give you all a greeting. It seems, Leon, that tenseness has faded to a more manageable amount, but he's still definitely showing that kind of like colder demeanor than I think the rest of you have seen while you've been on the ship.
God, stop making me feel bad about it. I already feel bad enough. Fuck.
Look, I told you, he's gonna have his own little thing going on, and anything. Anyway, pilots. I assume you've all been given various news and strange information by our visitors.
That's a word for it.
Yeah, well, whoever that was, it's clear Union has its eyes on us, which has its benefits. We're moving to the Shiva system. We're going to be linking up with a proper strike team to go and find out where the hell Yneval went off to. But in the meantime, this is hardly anything than just a standard sit and wait. Seems that whatever's been happening with the Genesis wave, Shiva was right in the direct path. They were getting strange reports, and well, while it's within Union space, it's always enjoyed a sort of autonomy, typical of worlds in a better position. But not anymore. Right now, we're hearing a lot of buzz, unconfirmed reports, and frankly, too much radio silence from Union assets on planet. So we're going to go in, we're going to find out what the hell's going on, we're going to fix it. If it's Yneval, we're going to kill the damn thing. And if it's something else, well, we'll handle that too.
Simple enough.
I'd hope so. Nothing ever is, as you know. Paracausal bullshit's gonna be what it is. Though, we do have a more pressing issue at the moment. There is a Union Transport Station SE1888008S. Kind of a halfway house, an official position for Union Transport to head into and out of the system without having to have our fingers up everyone's butts. Some of you got it. Anyway,
I got it. You fucking.
I know. I know. You got it. Anyway, from what we understand, there's been a bit of an incident on board involving strange operations of machinery and some form of militant cult attacking. Sound familiar?
As in a militant cult worshipping a paracausal god?
We can't make assumptions, but, well, walks like a duck and talks like a duck.
Shoot it.
Leave that to your assessment on once you get on board. So we understand picket ships are ready for are nearby for counter batteries on approach of any drop ships that trying to get off station. But as it stands right now, protocol is that no one gets too close, so that whatever the hell is going on can jump to local ships. There are people on board still, which is why we're sending you all in. We're closest and most trained team that can answer within this time frame. Your job is to get in, get as many people as you can, set and prep for launch, and get them going. Whatever the hell is going on there, we know there's at least a pocket that we can get you in safely to offload your mechs. Anyway, any questions?
We're going to be inside operating spacecraft.
Yes, artificial gravity. Everything's still online from our initial reads, though. What exactly that means can be anything. Assume that you won't have to be floating around in 0G, though. We can confirm at the very least in the hangar that the initial group needing exfil, that there is still power throughout the station. That was at least isolated.
Point us in the direction.
We're already en route.
Like the now.
Before that, there's an elephant in the room. Reggie will kind of fold his arms begrudgingly and look off to one side. Assuming any of us had similar chats in that little meeting room of ours, I'm assuming one of us got some weird news about how the squad works now.
My meeting was perfectly fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll pull that band-aid now, then. As it stands in official capacity, Reiji will be your commanding officer.
Don't all clap at once.
Oh.
Elaine is being asked is stepping down. I wasn't given the exact details, but it sounds like typical. Anyway.
Does that mean that I need to kiss Reiji now?
What you do on ground or on your private time is entirely up to you. And you do get a little bit of a smile out of him.
Makes no difference to me. As long as we're together, as long as we're doing the right thing, I'm good with whatever.
Sounds good.
Sorry, are we talking about commanding officers right now, or who's kissing my husband?
Both?
the two guys lock eyes.
Right? Just like both?
Point being, official capacity or not, you're still a team. That team's going to work best however you all decide it's going to work.
I ain't calling no damn shots. I know later.
Not
Well.
yet. Get suited up, boss.
Oh God.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Get geared and get going. We hit the gate in 5.
How's our hangar base looking? We prepped for launch already?
Our teams are ready for you. They're making sure it's all clean.
All right, gang. Sortie in 10. To your rooms.
Quick, sorry, Turk. I do want to know how cramped the quarters are going to be. Am I going to have a hard time navigating as a size 2?
Oh no.
Okay,
This is a large. So you could get like an official readout would kind of pop up. This is like meant for large amounts of cargo and goods and people to move through. It's like people will come out of the Shiba system, park here. That transport goes back, and a more official Union vessel, kind of trader vessel, transportation, etc., will like link up and then take people wherever they need to through blink gates.
Cool.
Yeah, it's you know, again, it's like Union's way of being like, we're here, but like do whatever you want. And it's just one easier way to do things. Go through us, but like, whatever, man. It's all cool.
Whatever, man.
Just
Anyway.
chill, man.
Hokey
Anyway.
pokey.
Point to the hangar bay. Your mechs are loaded up not into a dropship, but rather it seems like kind of a launch platform, like a catapult system. Yeah.
Launching.
Yeah.
You're
Uh,
fucking language.
They are going. They are currently kind of encapsulated for the brief zero-G experience, but as you are all told, as the ship lurches and then pops back through the. I wrote this down here. I actually went through the fucking. Of course, I didn't really write it down. The Annapurna Gate Station, entering the Shiba system, or rather a neighboring one. You're told that you're going to be shot right in because, you know, you're just going to need to get folks cleared, set, and ready to go. Once the situation is calmed down and handled, then some ships can approach. They're concerned that, you know, any shenanigans might jump to any ships going out. And the last thing you need is some drop ship's engine overheating with a bunch of folks on board. But yeah, your mechs are prepped, ready, and spick and span new.
Sounds like it's time for a launch sequence, friends. You know how I feel about those.
As the time comes, you all can begin and move to enter your mechs, being lowered down or in to the pods. Your last visual read of the outer world before you're kind of encapsulated in and prepped for your launch will be the site of a sort of almost rectangular station. A lot of different ports set out. A lot of them kind of closed off, but one's still open with what you can clearly see as sort of a distress beacon flashing out into the void of space. There's a number of Union ships surrounding it, but clearly at a distance. But yeah, the lights flash, you're encapsulated, and with a kind of... You quickly feel a rapid decompression, which is offset very briefly by your systems and the cold of space. Before, as your pods open and disperse and shoot, and you find yourselves able to kind of land with enough speed to kind of gracefully three-point landing into the hangar bay. Why don't you all give me a quick description of your mech?
No, we're armor core sliding. We're scraping
All right,
against
all right.
the armor core. Come on now.
Fucking speak for yourself. Old Lace has in the like prep sequence, the horns had to like fold down in a bunch of ways, and like the head gets about twice as wide. all of the moths fly into like spinal compartments. And because Old Lace is so much bigger than all the other mechs, it was in the fetal position, so it just like boom on the inside of the like landing area. At which point it stands up, the cloak materializes out of small ports, and the moths start fluttering around.
I think right next to them, Tuahanga will just kind of like skid directly past Old Lace, kind of coming around and spinning to kind of turn and face as one leg kind of comes forward. Comes up from the crouch, the single green islands in the middle glows bright to kind of like activate fully. And then raging from the cockpit, 3 months in the void and not one bandit attack, not one raid, not nothing. About time we got some damn action. How we feeling?
Is to Virtue.
My favorite boy.
Ready for action, my lord!
I missed him so much.
To watch my brother do that voice in medieval times, so I got to prep for it ahead of time.
I miss my boy
I
so
feel
much.
in complete contrast to Sim. Dawn's morning light will, just spiral through the sky. Perfect and serene grace, hit, skid a little, land, and then kind of pirouette into this like perfect ballet stance in a very much more sleek and slender frame, with like a demon hunter-esque cloak just billowing off behind her, and then give a little bow. This does feel good. You're right.
I feel like with Legacy, as we kind of come into closing in on the bay, the EVA module flares up, and there's the counter balance that kind of fires up, and I don't know how to phrase it. I have lost words, but it all comes up, it all fires up, and she lands rather lightly in the hangar bay.
Mm. Well, within you see a great number of people clearing off to the side. I'm going to move y'all over the map just so you get an idea of your space a bit better. You're going to be off to the right. I've just placed you approximately in a landing area that has been cleared off.
I know see nothing, by the way.
Yeah, it's all darkness.
Oh no.
We're in space.
Oh.
And
I'm
no
dumb.
one can hear us scream.
I'm dumb.
Ah.
All right, let me know if
Just have
things
to try
start popping
harder.
up for you.
Mhm.
Because I should turn on vision. There you go. And is everyone capable of seeing things?
I'm zooming us in.
All right. So that landing strip area is cleared, and you all can land as you've described. Off to the sides, you see a number of crates, and more importantly, a lot of other people kind of gathered about and around. That at your landing and approach, they will kind of begin moving in closer, in more so a concerned oh shit, this is the help, like we need to get us all set kind of way, but respecting that you are giant robots who could squish very easily with feet.
I am feet.
So up to you if you want to scan the area, but ahead of you, there is a kind of reinforced closed giant airlock.
Definitely feel like they're just a preliminary scan of the area.
Sure. I mean, you don't really need to. Of the people here, it seems like it's a good mix of just the random flotsam of the universe in regards to people. You don't know, you might not offhand know a lot about the Shiba system, but but it seems like there are workers here. There are, people dressed clearly who are staff and, mechanics and engineers that keep this particular station running. I guess the standout things here is that some of these arms do have some corporate markings, which I would love no secret roll from Sim.
I know secrets. Let's go. That's a 9. I don't think I know this secret. What's the inkling though?
It's giving you it's kind of, you don't recognize the companies outright. I mean, it's stuff like foodstuffs and general equipment, things that would be sold to typical frontier towns. You're kind of typical peas and carrots, mom and pop shop sort of things. But there's something about the companies that you're just like, wait a second, why does that ring a bell?
Oh boy.
Yeah. So it's not clicking right now, but maybe later on you can investigate into that a little bit.
I also have that skill.
Someone is going to kind of approach your kind of scanner's going to kind of lock on them. They seem to be a senior officer of sorts. Pilots, have you been fully appraised of the situation?
The cockpit on Old Lace dials open, and Sim, who immediately takes on the red cloak of nanites from Old Lace, parts of it just glom onto her, slides down. I'm Black Thumb rodeoing.
Oh, that's so cool.
And it just the nanites make an umbilical that just kind of bungees her down near the person. We've been given a brief appraisal, but any information that you have would be useful, and we're happy to be of help.
Oh, of course. Yeah. From what I understand, we have a number of on-foot soldiers with some kind of command unit attached to it. More importantly than anything, there are other survivors. They got to another airlock. We're in communication, but it sounds like right now they're trying to break through the doors. A group is splintered off. We don't know what the other group is trying to do to the main reactor, but they've been trying to gain access for some time. They've been unsuccessful, but it's not good. I understand if they get access to that, they could set the whole station to meltdown.
Y'all getting this?
We go stop them.
Got it.
While you're down there, Mimi is going to kind of chime in your ear. I just thought you should know I'm picking up a lot. Well, not a lot, but some scans coming from that group off to our right. And if you turn, you're going to see there's an eclectic.
I don't need to
you
turn.
You don't turn?
I don't need to turn. Mimi feeds me the image off of the mech's body cam.
Even better. You're going to get a readout of what seems to be a more ragtag than a ragtag group, in that there clearly are people who have the mana to dress however they want, and they have chosen very clearly chosen combat-oriented gear. These are people who, frankly, from a brief look over, should probably be fighting, and the fact they're not affiliated with Union or any particular group in particular, any nominal group in particular, might give you some ideas as to their potential affiliations.
So we're talking pirates or freelancers?
So that would, that's kind of your working hypothesis. These are clearly people who don't affiliate with the group but have the means to protect and attack others. Whether that just be in an on-foot basis, or whether one of these crates somewhere on the station has some frames that they use and just haven't had access to.
So we get the four image crosscut.
Yeah.
And that information pops up on Elena's feed first, and then subsequently oops, Reiji and Leon's.
So you're tracking all of these individuals. You get a feed, and I'd say
there's a text readout that says, potential allies, freelancers, can we recruit them?
Or somebody off books.
I will say that as you're showing the readout, one of them who seems to have a cybernetic kind of left eye. I know it's stealing your style, but it's an entire side of the face sort of deal.
Nani?
Almost. Will kind of tip up a cowboy hat and then point up towards the camera that Mimi is using and hit you with a little.
I never refuse an invitation to come play. Is this person hooked up to the OmniNet? Is that yes?
You could probably they have some open channels of communication should you wish to shoot them a quick ping.
Yeah, I will wait a moment for everybody else to respond to whether or not they think I should try to initiate contact before I do. But
I don't think it would cause harm to see what their affiliation is.
Agreed. Best case scenario, they help us out. Worst case, well, we have some fun.
If there's any ongoing conversation to have with this guy, Mimi and Sim switch who's fronting, and Sim basically pings this guy on his open channel saying, hi, many emojis. You look like you might do the same sort of work that we do. Is there any way we could get your help on this? I don't think any of us want to blow up in a reactor fire. Frowny faces.
You're gonna get back, and I'm gonna do the accent just because I've been really looking forward to speaking in my own southern in a southern tongue here. But
I'd be insulted if you didn't.
It is coming through text.
Oh, no. It's got an audio component, right?
Yeah, good.
That's
good,
the
good,
level
good.
that we're at. That's why I read it in Sim's voice. The smiley faces are there, but yeah, you convey tone with essentially a sculpt of your voice in the OmniNet.
Pleasure to meet you, little lady. Heard a lot about you. Just got you pinging me with the camera there. Figured you picked up what the rest of the group was busy doing, and well, if that's not an invitation to talk, I don't know what is. I mean, I will say, I'm not going to be able to help you on this little escapade. You all look very well set up, and frankly, if you can't handle what these little weirdos, followers of the Lightless Sun, I mean...
that goes into a search engine.
That would immediately ping up with a pretty small group that's been, it's a kind of think like a small Scientology-esque kind of cult where they kind of worship they have their little page of come to the Shiva system where the sun has provided all, and one day it will become where
We
yeah,
just did the campaign with the weird sun cults. What do you? Come on, like we just got out of there.
you'll never
Half of
finish.
Lancer.
Anyway, but they say for one day the dark sun shall return and grace us for for it has given us all at one point and shall give us all again. But it seems like their message is not one of like we're going to reclaim, we're going to do militant stuff. It seems like they're mostly just like from the page. It's like, hey, what's up? You know, you want to come like venerate the sun with us because it's going to eventually go dark.
They are Scientologists.
I mean, I know how cults work. Sim knows how cults work.
Absolutely. So, but that's their page.
Yeah.
But he's gonna continue real quick.
In the ongoing conversation.
And then, well, frankly, it don't matter how much mana they put on your heads, you ain't worth fighting.
With an outpouring of enthusiasm. Bounty hunters? Exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark.
Well, I don't mind that moniker, but some of my fellow compatriots find it distasteful as it implies too hard of a lifestyle, but I suppose you could call it that. Some of these folks are just downright bandits. Well, if you didn't know about us yet, you was going to. I just figured I'd give you all a big heads up because my mama raised me right and told me to introduce myself before I shot someone in the head.
Is this a truce until the station is safe?
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not. For some reason, my brain did not connect that.
Is this a truce until the station is safe?
Well, I sure ain't gonna intervene. I don't think any of these folks here have access to any frames they might be able to pilot right now, so... I mean, you call it a truce. I'd say I'll let you know when I'm taking you down. The others, though, they might not. You all best keep an eye on yourselves. I know I will.
Can I want to send like the equivalent of a friend request.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will do you one better. He will actively share his location with you.
I was more looking for like his
moderately disapproving.
She would send a request that's like in the Lancer network, and it would be like arsenic, pilot, old lace, strange cargo.
Mm-hmm. All right. In that case,
but the open channel, I will accept. I just also want to know this guy's moniker.
Yeah, it's like if you were to, it's not like an always pinging thing. It's like if you both want to check, it will like connect you, sort of thing. Like Snapchat friends, you know how if you don't know where the map thing is, you don't know where all your friends are, sort of thing. But you can go invisible if you want to. But his official call sign is Sundance Kid, piloting the Senorita Bonita. He'll just shoot you another finger gun. I'll see you around. You know, cut connection.
Sim types in main, or has pulled back into the cockpit at this point and says in like our main chat, there are bounty hunters who are going to come after us at some point. Sundance Kid has kindly let us know that they can't do anything right now. So
his fucking name is Sundance Kid?
Yeah.
I thought my call sign sucked.
What?
You have a call sign now?
Reiji just kind of thought blinks his ID det, which says Reiji draws Templar.
Oh.
It fits.
Might change it, might not. Doesn't matter right now.
We brainstormed it together.
He does. Yeah, it's stuck. Anyway, who's your new friend?
Cowboy hat. And that's not the word cowboy hat. That's like the cowboy emoji.
The emoji.
Yeah.
You send him a friend request. He has his own set of gifts and emotes.
This is not metagaming, but because Reggie is going to be the part of me that's natural here, despite having no knowledge of the interaction that happened with Sim at all, Reggie's immediately like, I don't think I like him.
Oh yeah, he'll definitely try to kill us at some point, but doesn't seem sporting to fight him while we have mechs and he doesn't. Also, I think it would really freak out all these people.
Also, not what we're here for.
Airlock doors.
Let's get to it.
Well, XO, you got the biggest sword.
Don't think we necessarily need to cut them down.
You're the XO.
Oh god, nope. We're brain bleaching that one immediately. Someone open the door, please. Thank you.
But yeah, basically, I imagine that as Sim was having this conversation, you could still hear that the guy was like telling you as much information as they had, and people were like pouring in and like, yeah, but they got this, but like, that kind of was like, it's all conflating information that you were just storing and didn't find any like pertinent details in it. And he's like, we'll open the door for you when you're ready. And that was like the last thing, and they just cleared everyone off the sides. So, pilots, are you
We're ready.
Doors, please.
Stand clear of the opening doors. So, if you'd like, we can kind of run this where enemies, as you find them, will be added into initiative order. But until that happens, you can just move in turns. So just move yourselves up.
Love it.
Yeah. But as you're aware, as the kind of readout has been given to you, there is a hangar to your north, one directly across from you, and one across from the one to your north. There is an opening here that leads to the reactor.
Here we go. And I'm gonna pop on comms again and say confirm visual.
What's it looking like down there?
Just to jump in and tell you what you're seeing. You see what appears to be two large, like, basically mech forklifts. Was clearly meant to kind of like lock in and then like lift and move stuff with two arms. They're just taking those two and basically
Just bashing them into the door.
bashing them into the door. Whereas you also see some units supervising.
Okay. So 2 bashing them into the door and 2 units supervising. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Well, you also see some anti-material stuff added.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm gonna relay that to the others.
Yeah.
Attacking on 2 fronts. They're splitting us up.
They
Hey,
can't keep
XO.
us apart for long.
Agreed. Hey, XO.
We're a
That's the good idea.
friendship.
You're the XO.
Shut up. Get their attention, piss them off, and then pull back towards this area here. We got a killing field right here in the middle. If we can pull everybody here, we slaughter them at close range. They got better long-range firepower than us. They can't handle us in a scrap, though.
You got it.
See what we can do.
It's
All right.
still
That
us.
wasn't an order, by the way. Shut up, all of you.
It's
Yeah,
you know my
pretty sure if
moment.
humans take any damage or heat, they just die.
Um,
Sorry, Fred.
when they take from any source other than their own systems and weapons. Yep. Whoopsie daisies.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
Oh, you're good. Don't worry about it.
No, I had like 8 more heat to apply.
Hey,
I
get out of
mean,
my combat, pilots.
Cool. Are we in cleanup mode now?
You're absolutely in cleanup mode. So if you want to, you are getting a friendly signal asking if the coast is clear from behind the store. There's a truck full of people.
Oh, nice.
It's
Truck
yeah. It's optimal. It's prime.
We're all
I
clear
don't
over
want to
here.
move Old Lace. I want to move my own token.
Oh, sorry, Old Lace is big. You have to really zoom in there. But yeah,
You really gotta maneuver around her.
Hey, throwing that out there. These things were unmanned.
Yeah, we had a cultist screaming over about dying sons and shit on our end.
Do
Sounded
we
pretty
attract them? Are we the problem?
weird. You seen us?
Sim will,
Of course we're the problem.
Sim will drop down from Old Lace and check out the insides of any of the intact breachers.
it
Just looking
appears
for like the same sort of like signature of Yneval.
it appears at it's a similar style. Like the pattern is the same. How best to put this?
It rhymes, but it's not identical.
It's like a teacher taught a student, and the student is copying the teacher. Like you're watching.
They don't fully understand what they're doing necessarily. Or,
There's
like,
there's a
they're
good there's a good degree of competence here. It's not that they don't know what they're doing. It's just that you are watching somebody who is very intently studied someone else make a very similar line, but there's always going to be a minute amount of differences.
Well,
This is-
especially and I guess I have one other question: human hand or NHP?
Combination in this one, actually. You're just maybe the bits and pieces in here that were allowing for a transmission of code were probably implanted in there by the Lightless Sun folk, and the rest was handled by the third party.
So, Lightless Suns installed something on the mech, and then an NHP was able to control it.
Yes. And it's the same degree of a Yneval style control. Though with your knowledge and current holding of prudent interval, you can kind of confirm the signature doesn't match.
Yeah.
Same location of fingers, different fingerprints.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how we go through all of the analogies here, but like, yeah,
Yeah. No. It's helpful, I think.
yeah.
Gang.
What do we got, love?
We have a copycat.
I hate what that sounds like.
It looks like the cultists installed a piece of hardware that granted access to what I'm pretty sure is an NHP. It's not Yneval, it's not Prudent Interval, it's someone else. I don't know if it was taught how to do this, if it's mimicking the patterns that it's seen before.
Wait. Hold on. Y'all are all a lot smarter than me, so clock me on this one, but We're trailing Yneval like following a fish through a sea, trailing the wake of the waves, right?
Something like that.
And these waves, when they hit planets, they cause shit to get fucky. Mostly shit with NHPs. Yeah?
GM, is that the case?
Sorry, feed that to me one more time.
Is the only shit getting fucky the shit with NHPs?
Well,
When
mostly
the
at least.
wave hits.
Mhm.
From
Or it's
an
all-
understanding of what's occurred, it seems that when Yneval goes past, it's usually the NHPs that get real fucky. It's not. It's possible that this being in a direct line of Yneval added some extra, like, I'm going to spread my weird fucky seeds around, like, but more that obviously that's how Yneval sounds now. But no, it's very this would match the profile of something within the Genesis wave of a onboard CompCon NHP going, cascadey and a bit anti-biological.
Yeah. NHPs are primarily what's affected. Although
All right.
unconfirmed reports of CompCons being affected in a similar way.
All right,
It's-
then. Follow me on the logic line, then. If the wave is caused by Yneval, the wave is causing NHPs to get fucky. And here, in the aftermath of the wave, we're seeing an NHP effectively, well, pseudo copycat what Yneval did. Well, shit. Sounds to me like the old bitch is building an army.
That's certainly not out of the question. What confuses me, though, is... Well, normally when NHPs cascade, their behavior is a lot more difficult to understand. The way that they think is so beyond what humans do and think. They can think in multiple dimensions.
She wants us to know.
If she's building an army, it's not just that she's building an army. There are wheels within wheels happening here, and we can't see the whole picture.
So then, elephant in the room question. She's building an army for something bigger than what we can see. Who's she declaring war on?
I don't think Sim wants to answer that question.
I don't think any of us want to answer that question.
Sim, through the like picture comms, just bites her lip.
Let's get everyone out of here that we can talk philosophy of war.
No argument here.
The tendril lifts Sim back inside the cockpit.
All right. Well, it's a simple matter to get everyone to the stations and put it out an all clear. Confirmed, of course, by some onboard NHP specialists orbiting in some smaller picket ships. You can be brought back. You're brought back to the Savage 21st as you watch the other others who are caught in this whole thing brought out to rescue ships, which will, of course, link up with transport ships and be brought, well, wherever they were initially going anyway, while the whole platform here is scrubbed and given the once over. But yeah, departing and reboarding the Savage 21st.
Oh, the boxes. It's too late.
Well, if you'd like, you can make that roll now. Yeah, roll no secrets, because they're still there on your way out. And you have access to the Omninet for...
That's a 16 this time.
Well, that's a lot better. I mean, between you and me, you remember why you recognize those. Those are some of the shell corporations you used to move around a lot of Harrison Arms equipment.
Shit. I think a friend requested a Harrison Arms merc.
Who knows? Because Sundance Kid is his own person. Anyway, with that being said, I'd say I put this at the end because that's what we're going to call this session. Went a little bit over, but hey, that's Lancer combat for you. Everybody, we made it past our session 0.5 or 0.1. Welcome to the rest of this fucking campaign, y'all. I thank you all so much for if ever we play this, we probably will. It'll be good. I think we should play this, right? I think people should know.
I agree.
Hope you enjoyed the successful raid on SE18008S. Oops. Anyway, why don't we go around the horn in which we introduced ourselves and tell the people who you are, who you're playing tonight, and where they can find more of the exceptional work you put out into the world. Of course, starting with the finest of Philadelphia.
Hey friends, I'm Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Phillies finest using the he, they pronouns. I can be found all over the internet at Young Foxy. It's YUNGFOXXI. Sometimes there's no score in the middle. As resident creative director of Neon Lights Roleplay, I do all kinds of Neon Lights Roleplay stuff here, including today getting to reprise my role as the incomparable Ragey Draws, team's resident orc and now XO, I guess. It's been an awesome time. I am more stoked for this campaign than I was before we played tonight, which I didn't think was possible. So, can't wait for more. Hope you all come along for the ride. Thanks for being here with us for whenever this goes live, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bring it on over to Sir Andrew of the Hooper.
Hello, friends. I'm Andrew. I'm also extremely stoked to pick up these characters again. The Manticore is everything I wanted it to be. It is just mess with everything. If the GM wants to do something, just mess with it. And it's
so much fun.
It's so much. Now I'm on this side of it, and it's great. When I'm on Turk's side, it's awful. But for now, it's great. You can find me over on my own channel, The Lost Caravan. We do lots of Lancer content. We're actually 4 episodes into our own Lancer campaign, where we just fought an HP from 4th Com. Yeah. I know, that was their reaction too. But yeah, we're just, if you want to come hang out, we love friends and guests. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm very excited to be here.
Sorry, I'm gonna process that later in my own time. I mean, I know it sounds fake to me. Sounds weird.
Fake news, not real. Propaganda.
Right, my favorite sports anime RPG, Legendary Vermin.
Hey, it's me. I'm Legendary Vermin. You can find me all over the internet as Legendary Vermin, but I'm for this episode in particular, I'm just gonna shout out that at Legendary Vermin or legendary-vermin.itch.io, you can find the smut that I wrote about characters in this game. That's all you need to know. This game has porn of it. We've already done the 34 for you. Come on. Obviously, don't buy that if you're not over 18. Yeah.
But if you are, read it, buy it, try it. Tag us. Tag me.
Tag me.
Tag all of us. All right. Gay mommy. Mr.
I'm the gay
Mr.
mommy.
Meg Mysteria.
Hello, I am Meg and/or Meg Mysteria, and I got to play Elena Victoria, who was demoted, was asked to demote. was asked to step down as commander. And, you know, she gracefully accepted that demotion. And it's definitely not because her parents have done some shady shit with Siegson. Wait a minute, that's not this game.
Smith Shimano.
That's not this game.
I mean, basically the same thing. It's they worked with the corpos, and who knows what the ramifications of that were. I'm sure some, pilots had to be called in to deal with it. I'm sure they're dealing with some horrific scenarios type shit.
They did something, and maybe sometime soon I'm gonna find out what they did, but at least it's not my fault like I thought it was gonna be. Anyway, I think that's it for me. Let's throw it back up to the wonderful Game Daddy.
Do you have any works you want to shout out for the upcoming days? Any channels or stuff?
You can find me over on Singularity Roleplay, where I am running Gay Camp, better known as Camp Runner's Cross, where I am finally tormenting my players with 80s slasher scenario stuff. No longer interpersonal drama with 80s LGBTQ twist. It's now actual slasher content.
Now it's time for die.
It's not a hate crime. It's not a hate crime if we're all queer.
We've finished the Breakfast Club, and now it's time for Friday the 13th.
Yep.
The time of the orc is now. All right. I am Turk or Turk accented, but only if you got that very, very hard to track down movie reference, obviously. Super niche. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like a Lord of the Rings thing. I don't know. Anyway, I've had the honor and privilege of getting to run this game. Again, someone keeps letting me do this. Who knows why? Foxy, I knew it. You make all the best bad decisions. And if you want to continue to see me continue to fail to put any meaningful roadblocks in front of my crew of storytellers here, I'm like, yes, LL4.
A few times that you fucking killed us.
He got better. And there was only 2. Anyway, there's a whole big world. This time it is based off of no one else's work but my own. So that should be pretty fun. Tune in next time for session 1. You'll know it when you see it. That's not like a buy-in. It's actually titled. You know it when you see it. If you want to see more of the work that I do out in the world, I am AGM here on Neon Lights, not only for this campaign going forward, but also for Oathsworn Ozzy the Dragon Lords, which is a high fantasy Greek mythology campaign we've been running here for a good long while. It's been great. The players are awesome. We're currently in a good bit of a battle arc, so if you aren't next episode might not be the best time to join us, but I encourage you to check out our YouTube and absolutely catch up when you can. It's very bingeable right now, and we've got some real great drama festering under the surface. It's an overall good time. And then over on Lost Caravan, where I hang out with Hoop sometimes, I'm going to be a player in a whole bunch of cool stuff. Where I also I'm a part of the Delta Green stuff, which is on basically every Thursday as far as I can swing it. It's Impossible Landscapes. It's some weird stuff. I'm a firefighter. I say Sunday sauce a lot. It's a good time. A bunch of really cool, awesome one shots, including me getting to maybe return some pain onto Hooper eventually. In Lancer and Fallout. And I run Caravan of Cthulhu, which is a series of one shots over there that have been a ton of fun to run. Probably have to already start planning for this upcoming October if we're going to do a Cthulhu week. But that's far in the future. I will also say, here on Neon Lights, I am a player in a few awesome campaigns, including tomorrow's, well, by his Shadow Piece, not technically tomorrow, but I mean, when it goes out, it might be tomorrow. Which has been a whole bunch of fun. I'm part of so many shows. By a Shadow Piece and Nova are on alternating Wednesdays across channels. I'm everywhere. Make sure you're following Neon Lights Roleplay and Lost Caravan. A lot of exceptional creators there. I'm kind of cut this off before I talk myself into a rut. Y'all are incredible. I say that to my crew, and thank you all for tuning in. We will see you next time when we properly kick this thing in full. This might be the last time we hear Second Plate, so enjoy it. See you next time, pilots.